Yo, happy 3.5-year anniversary to all of us NIKKE players. All this time passed in a blink of an eye. But we're finally getting the highly anticipated overspec versions of our counters, companions. And today, ARC's brightest star, Anise, joins the battlefield. She's had her back since day one, and today is no different. She rejoins us as a B1 defender unit of the electric variety. So join me in exploring her newly acquired skills as an idol, evaluating her on-stage performance, and reviewing her brand new album at the end. Like the video and subscribe to the channel, and let's see what she can do. So here are her skills. First off, we got skill 1, Starfall. Firstly, increases burst gauge filling speed by 6%. Secondly, activates at the start of battle and when full burst ends, enters one of two states depending on whether she is the only B1 unit or not. If she is the solo B1, she enters my own star state, increases her own attack by 40% and decreases burst cooldown by 7.5 seconds. If there is another B1 present, she enters everyone's star, which makes her re-enter burst 1, and both of these effects are mutually exclusive. And thirdly, when attacking in full charge, deals an additional 120% of her attack as damage. Now for her skill 2, Stardust. If she is the solo B1, she gives everyone 35% of her attack during full burst, and if she is not the solo B1, when she does full charge attacks, she heals everyone by 1.26% of her max HP. During full burst, she also increases projectile explosion damage by 92% for every ally that has a defense lower than herself, and increases everyone's attack damage by 34%. Last but not least, her burst skill, Star Anise. She generates stars that attack enemies at random, dealing 40% of her attack as damage 4 times per second. Also, her charge time gets locked in at 0.7 seconds. Her explosion radius increases by 100% and her defense increases by 55%, which helps her maintain that higher defense than everybody else. Lastly, if she's the solo B1, she gives everyone 35% attack damage, and if she is not the solo B1, she increases everyone's max HP by 15% of her max HP. So overall, a very strong kit, quite versatile and flexible as well, but best fitted for rocket launcher users for now. A lot of general buffs though, so she's still going to be good in general use. Now with that said, let's take a look at her performance in battle. So first I wanted to compare her to the other B1s in the standard electric Cindy team. First we got Rouge. In this team, Cindy did 2,084 million damage and Summer Anise did 796 million, while Rouge is doing 262 million damage for a total team damage of 3,878 million. This is going to be the control for the first comparison, and then we got Treasure Moran, and in this team Cindy did 2,121 million damage, as well as Moran doing almost 3 times Rouge's damage, so overall significantly better than Rouge at a total of 4,447 million damage, coming in at 114% of control. And then we have Star Anise, and in this team Cindy is doing 2,559 million damage and Summer Anise comes in at 1,034 million damage, while Anise is doing 1,463 million damage as a B1. The total team damage is 157% of control at 6.1 billion. And in this comparison, you can also tell that someone like Anise, who doesn't benefit from explosion damage buffs, is still getting significant gains over the other two supports. Next up, I have two rocket launcher users, Raven and Winter Diesel, with Crown and Treasure Privity. With Little Mermaid, Raven and Diesel did 2.34 billion and 1.73 billion respectively, while Mermaid did 1.3 billion. This team being the control for the rocket launcher team comparison, coming in at 6.84 billion damage. When switching to Treasure Moran, both DPSs lose a little bit of damage, about 60 to 90 mil. The team damage coming in at 91%, but when swapping in Star Anise, Raven gained another 500 million and Diesel gained about 430 million, while she herself did a whopping 2 billion damage. This team overall doing 8.7 billion at 127% of the control. Now next up we have our idol's greatest fan, Avistar. Avistar is a free unit that is a dedicated support for Star Anise, so I decided to compare her to leader in a double B1 setup. So as you can see, Cindy and Raven did less damage with Avistar, Cindy seeing a much more significant decrease, but Star Anise doing 700 million more damage with Avistar than Leader, and Avistar herself doing about 230 million more than Leader, so the overall damage with Avistar ended up being higher. All that to say is that Avistar is a viable teammate in a double B1 setup. Next up, I did another Avistar comparison against Moran in the Cindy team. Here we see the same trends where both DPSs do a little bit less damage, but both B1s end up doing more damage to compensate, and the end team damage comes out very close, both teams basically doing the same. Last but not least, I'm comparing Little Mermaid Leader and Star Anise in a more general use scenario with Crown, Treasure Helm, Rapi and Mihara, so right off the rip, Leader is the worst choice by a significant margin, but between Mermaid and Star Anise, Anise comes out on top here as well. Rapi doing 3.24 billion damage, roughly 350 million more, and Mihara doing 2.7 billion, roughly 390 million more. Anise also outdamages Little Mermaid, so overall this team did 15% more damage. So there isn't a lot that can be said other than the fact that Star Anise is the new best B1. She's buffing her teammates better in nearly every scenario, and when she's not, her personal damage gives the team the edge regardless. So if you're going to invest in her, which you should, I would recommend going for 10-10-10 with priority being on skill 2, then burst, and then skill 1. If you're short on supplies, going to 7 on skill 1 and burst is fine, but you should try to eventually get them all to 10. As far as the overload lines go, I recommend going for attack, elemental, and then either ammo or charge damage. Attack being the most important if you're planning on using her off element. So now's the time for my final thoughts. Star Anise, a very fitting name because she is the current star B1 on any team it seems. Even though her kit is best suited for characters that use projectiles, she has enough general buffs that allow her to be the best buffer regardless. Her ability to re-enter burst 1 is also nice for pairing with other B1 buffers or healers as needed, and her personal damage is insane, oftentimes coming really close to other meta B3 characters. That's some serious firepower, as Neon would say. She's got a bit of everything: healing, AoE, single target, cooldown reduction, HP buffs. I would say she comes really close to being a must-pull character in a general sense, and definitely a must-pull if you care about raids, so do pick up a copy. Personally, I'm placing her in a triple S tier, new best in slot B1 that makes Little Mermaid shaking her boots. So with that said, that is going to do it for this one. Let me know what you think of our idol's performance down in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more. Next week we got Neon, so I'll see you all then. Good luck on your pulls and take care.